the worst teams in the league. We have the documents. We have the worst teams in the league. We have the most accurate, most in-depth, most insightful list for the top 5 worst teams for our fans. And this is what you look forward to week in and week out here at the Brickyard Podcast.
The reason why you have a phone, the reason why you have a computer, the reason why you have the internet is for these 2 segments here, the best and the worst top 5, brought to you by the Brickyard, most confidential, most secure, most reliable top 5 rankings, top bottom 5 rankings in the NFL. So without further ado, why don't we get into it? Now, before I get into my top 5, I will tell you who teams are off the list this week, whether because they got a win or maybe they showed some sort of conviction, some sort of heart in their team. Team number 1 got a win. They've actually won back-to-back games for a team that I have dragged through the ringer, but they got a little bit of that spice here now. They got Mama's cooking back at home. The Giants are spared. Tommy DeVito, back-to-back games of 100 QBR. First undrafted rookie to do so. So credit to him. The Giants will be spared this week. Another team that will be spared this week is the Buffalo Bills. They played a good game against the Eagles. Couple things go the other way. Perhaps they actually win that game and help their playoff chances. So they will be spared. A team that is an honorable mention this week. I couldn't quite put them above some of these other teams, but they had the most pathetic game of the week, the Toilet Bowl. I have to put the Chicago Bears as an honorable mention because what the fuck was that Monday night game? I'm so sick and tired of seeing these awful games. This is one of the worst games I've ever seen. You have 4 interceptions. You have 4 interceptions that you have from Josh Dobbs, and it equates to 0 touchdowns, 4 field goals, and that is what ultimately won you the game. So congratulations to the first team to win a game this year with 0 touchdowns. Congratulations. Very proud. Number 5 team, I've been very kind to them this year because I fell in love with their quarterback who filled in for their injured quarterback. Beginning of the season, they were never a good team, but I was kind to them because, I've spent a lot of time in this particular state. And I've grown to love this little state, the 602. That is Glendale, Arizona. And I'm talking about the Arizona Cardinals, okay? They are now the 2nd overall pick if the season ended today. And I thought that when Kyler Murray came back that they had a chance to win a couple games and maybe play some upset ball. And then this last week, they went on and faced their division rivals, or should I say their division fathers in the Los Angeles Rams. We're talking 2-13 against Sean McVay since he took over the head coaching realms in 2017. That is outright embarrassing. That is Jets against the Patriots level bad. That is Broncos versus Chiefs level bad. Shame on you. This is an organization. You go to play and win games, and this is what you bring to the table. Shame on you, Arizona. Shame on you.
Yeah, shame on you, Arizona.
Number 4, this team I was kind to as well. I was like, you know what? I feel bad what happened to their franchise quarterback, tearing his ACL first week of the season. You have to bring in Zach Wilson. He has to take over the realms. But I'm tired of it. They have the worst record since 2016, 38-87. Horrible. 18 quarterbacks since I started watching football in 2007. We're talking about the Christian Hackenbergs of the world, the Bryce Pettys, the Geno Smiths before Seattle. We're talking about Sam Dangerous, Sam Darnold, Zach Wilson, one of the worst quarterbacks I've ever seen play the game. And now you bring out Tim Boyle, who had 2 touchdowns. He had 2 more touchdowns in college than I did. Not very impressive whatsoever, but somehow he's got the dark secrets of the NFL, and he found a way to start an NFL game this year, and it was an absolute eyesore. And the Jets, they buried themselves their own grave. First, you think that Aaron Rodgers is going to solve your problems despite not having an offensive line. He says, sign Randall Cobb out of retirement. Literally had to drag him out of a nursing home. Adam Lazard, the lizard himself, somehow finessing the New York Jets to give him 4 years and $48 million. Are you kidding me?
Good for
Adam
you, Adam.
Lazard. Get that bag, Adam Lazard. And then to where you are now, hiring Nathaniel Hackett as offensive coordinator after you saw just how bad Russell Wilson was. Shame on you, New York. You have been pathetic, and that is why for the remainder of the season, you will not be known as the New York Jets. You will be known as the New Jersey Boogers. Moving on.
Shame on you, Jets.
Shame. And then we have the Heartbreak Kids themselves out of SoFi Stadium. I have the Los Angeles Chargers. They are a new level of heartbreak. My poor friend, Mr. Devin Gennard, I will call him by thy name, Chargers super fan, dare I say. And this man is broken right now. He is heartbroken every single week. He continues to burn his jerseys. Khalil Mack is next. Continuously, heartbreak. This kid just wants love, and all he gets is pain. And he doesn't deserve that. This team, they have allowed 475 yards in half of their games. That is the defensive guru in Brandon Staley. Well, I hope you're a guru at making coffee because you will soon be a Starbucks barista by season's end. They are 0-5 in one-score games. Pathetic. They are nothing but a heartbreaking team. Every single year, they just stomp on the balls of their fans, and I am tired of seeing it. Chargers, you are number 3.
Shame on you, Chargers.
Shame. Number 2, who played a part in the toilet bowl game of last week. I have the New England Pancreas, New England Patriots. You missed a 35-yarder? Really? A 35-yarder by Chad the Leg Ryland? What an absolute embarrassment. This is the first team in over 35 years to give up 10 points or less and still lose both of those games. Absolutely anemic. They have scored 13 points a game all season. That's not going to get it done in the NFL. They are the new version of what the Denver Broncos were last year. If they just had a competent offense, where would they be? If their offense could score, dare I say, 17 points a game, where their team could be. Or better yet, if they could just score, period. Because in more of these games, half of their games, they have not scored more than 10 points. You take out that Bills game, they haven't scored more than 17 points. Not only that, why do you keep starting Mac Jones? You know what to expect. He's going to throw it to the other team more than he throws it to his team. You're going to say, oh, his wide receivers. Oh, I don't want to hear it anymore. You have him. You have Bailey Zappi. You have Will Grier. You guys are playing musical chairs with your quarterback room for some reason. I'm going to start Mac Jones. I'm going to cut Bailey Zappi. I'm going to bring back Will Grier. I'm going to cut Malik Cunningham. I'm going to start. What are you doing? This is confusing everybody.
Ruin a career.
Ruin a career of Matt Corral. It's absolutely anemic. And I'm tired of talking about these Patriots teams because I want to spend just enough time to talk about the number 1 worst team. And I know in weeks past I've had them on various points, but they have been one of the only teams who have been on this list every single week of the worst top 5. Consistency is kid. Unfortunately for this particular list, you don't want to be on this list. I have the 1-10 lowly Carolina Panthers. Now, the only bright spot from this week is that they fired Frank Reek off of their head coaching tree. They fired him, Josh McCown, and Deuce Staley. Deuce Staley basically just putting a deuce on the field every single week. That's right, I just made a poop joke. The Carolina Panthers, okay? Tell me these two teams, right? One team drafted their franchise quarterback, drafted a wide receiver in that draft, signed a veteran receiver, signed a veteran tight end, and traded their star wide receiver. All right. One of them drafted Bryce Young, drafted Jonathan Mingo, signed Adam Thielen, signed Hayden Hurst, and traded away DJ Moore. The other one drafted CJ Stroud, drafted Tank Dell, signed Robert Woods, signed Dalton Schultz, and traded away Brandon Cooks. Where are they today? Well, let me tell you. Carolina Panthers have the worst offense, even worse than Ming-Hao Mack and the New England Patriots. They have the lowest scoring offense. On the other side of the ball, they are in the playoffs. They are potentially an MVP in CJ Stroud. Oh, how the titles have turned. The Panthers, 47-78 since they went 15-1 in 2015. This is a team that was a juggernaut with Cam Newton. And for some reason, this team, they went from Cam Newton turning into Isaac Newton, defying gravity for one season. Josh Norman turning into Normandy Island for a period of time. Shaq Thompson turning into prime Shaquille O'Neal. And Jonathan Stewart turning into Jonathan Taylor for just one season. An anomaly that is the 2015 Panthers. And since then, they have been one of the top 5 worst teams in the NFL. If I were to make a top 5 worst teams of the decade, they would be on that list. And ever since TJ Watt ruined their career, it has been anemic. This team is the staple. They have lost their credibility as a Panther. They are now the Kitty Cats. Carolina Kitty Cats are the worst team in the NFL. You heard it here from the Brickyard. Most confidential, most reliable, most accurate form of entertainment on the internet. The reason why you have an internet, the reason why you have the phone. Worst top 5.